conversation as we hear radio chatter between the team and Fernando Alonso. I think most of us would agree that because of this unique circumstance and the opportunity of having someone of the team's pedigree and the driver's caliber, it's worth doing something a little bit different. But I think it's also important, and you can explain this and note, for example, for tire allotment. This is still working within rules with IndyCar of how you get to 5 sets allowed today.
Yeah, absolutely. It is consistent with what we've done, and we've had an occasional driver do ROP phases prior to the official ROP during the May event itself. I think Kurt Busch was the last one we had do it, but the allocation of tires comes out of what's available for testing. An Indy 500 only rookie is allowed a super speedway test prior to the Indianapolis 500. The one thing that is different is in the years prior, the Indianapolis Motor Speedway Oval was not listed as an approved test facility. It got added back on this year, so the opportunity for him to do his test prior is actually at Indianapolis. Previous years, a lot of guys would go to Fontana or Texas for another super speedway. He's able to take his here. He's going through his phases today. When you do that test day, you're allocated 4 sets of tires. And when you do ROP, you're allocated 3 sets of tires. So those 4 and 3 become 7. And we're letting him use 5 of his 7 today because Marco used half of the set to get the baseline setup on, which basically leaves Alonso 4.5 sets. He'll carry over 2 sets and be able to continue to run on May 15th when we run the rookie orientation official program and the refresher test. He'll be able to participate with those 2 sets of tires, but because he's completed his phases already, he'll be able to go out and run and practice at any speed he feels comfortable.
And that's the first 2 hours of the first open day of practice for
Correct,
the 2.
Yes, on May 15th.
Michael Andretti continues to watch as Alonso works back up to speed. You've been around this all your life. You've been in IndyCar racing for 30 years or so now. What are your emotions as you watch other people outside the sport get excited about this, the worldwide attention that this has created?
Well, I think it's obviously a great thing on all levels, and to me it's just a reflection of how great the event of the Indianapolis Motor Speedway is, the Indianapolis 500. To bring someone who's, in the middle of his Formula One season back over here is just a recognition of the magnitude of this event, and it's going to generate a ton of activity, interest. I can't think of, evolution of everything, but including social networking and what you guys are doing, live streaming it. That's never happened before. And so, it's just exposing more and more people to the facility, to the event, to IndyCar as a whole, and that can only be a good thing.
And he's trying to do what you've been a part of from a team perspective. You've been chief mechanic that's won this race.
Well, it is an unbelievable experience just to be able to participate here. And when you enjoy success around here, as you say, very fortunate to have been with Little Al when he won both of his races here. And, up and down the paddock, everybody works so hard. It's what you strive to do. And it's just, a great feeling when you have success anywhere, but especially at Indianapolis.